This is Christine with Trusty Training Services and 4-month-old Remington at Puppy Boot Camp, and we are going to be working on place training. Remy, place. The first reward is when all 4 feet land on the place. After that, he's rewarded for sit or down, but we've really been focusing hard on emphasizing the down. It's important for me as a handler to return to neutral behavior or posture in between rewards, because that gets him used to the fact that I might actually walk away and ask him to remain there. We want him to get in the habit of staying until he receives the nose touch. So he's actually made some great progress here on his place training. Free. Place. Good. Come over here and sit down, because eventually we want him to stay in his place while we watch television or maybe even eat dinner or socialize with company. So notice that he did not get a reward when I returned him for breaking. I have to repeat the test, have him do it successfully, and then he's going to get the reward. And we want him to be successful several times at the test so that success is more deeply etched on him than failure. Changing your body position, changing your posture is very impactful for a puppy. So it's important that if we're going to prepare him to do this in a real life functional way, free, Remy, place, that we are moving around the room and we are changing our position. And I actually am going to go ahead and wait until he lies down, because ultimately we want that to be a place where he relaxes. I'm also playing with distance, so I'm sitting a little bit further down on the couch. I'm not always looking at him directly, so I want him to feel like maybe he's not as accountable to me. And this is really the most I've asked him to actually remain in place. And again, he's going to learn that the rewards do not come when he breaks. They come for staying. Now, if I get up and correct him and then pair that with rewarding, then I'm basically rewarding mistakes in his mind. And he's willing to take the correction in order to get the reward. So that's just going to land him in a little bit of a crate timeout, because he's showing us that he does not want to cooperate with what we're asking him to do. And the vocalizing is really a classic lead up to other misbehavior. So what I will do is act like I don't really even care. He knows I have his food, but I'll act like, I'm not in a hurry. You can eat sometime tonight, but it's okay if you stay in there for a while. We're going to wait till he shows some reasonable behavior in the crate where he's lying down and more relaxed than what he is right now. So we want him to get a really clear connection in his brain. At this point, place training has been all fun and games, but it's important that he also understands that it's not just an optional activity that we're asking him to do. I would never leave the leash on unless I'm here to directly supervise what's happening. So always take the leash off when you crate the puppy unless you're in the room and able to directly supervise what's happening. Out. Halt. Place. Good. 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 Again, we want him to get some really successful repetitions. So as a handler, one of the things that I do try to do, if I feel like a puppy, I'm asking them to make too great of a leap in learning, is I will shorten the duration of the time that I'm sitting. So instead of waiting for him to get up and break, we're going to try to capture him before he breaks. Free. Good. Place. The more duration we're working on, the less repetition we're going to do as well. So when you're doing lots of repetitions without asking for duration, you can repeat the exercise a lot more. But when we're asking for him to work harder mentally with duration like we are right now, then we want to make sure that we are not making him work so long that he gets frustrated. Free. Place. He's doing a great job of taking himself all the way there. Good. Good is a word that I love to use. Free. To teach the puppy to keep doing what they're doing. Remy, place. Good. I'm actually not cueing him to get the down. I want him to offer it in this particular exercise. Shh. Good. So we're now beginning to really teach that place has a boundary, and we want him to honor it. So he can move around, but we don't want him to actually step off of it. Also, when we teach this exercise with more duration, we're going to actually give him a chew toy that he only gets when he's in his place, on his place training mat. Good. Free. Place. I like to continue the reward when all four paws hit the mat for quite a while when they're this age. Good. Because marking that behavior is really important. We want to get solid commitment to the place training mat. And one of the best ways to do that is to reward them as soon as they land on the mat. Good. I want his last reward to be on the mat. And then I will give him a nose touch to let him know that he's all done. free. This is Christine with Trusty Training Services, training built on trust. Happy training.